We talk a lot about incredible networks, like the internet. But what if I told you the most complex, most powerful network you'll ever use is actually running inside your own body right this very second? Well, today we're going to dive into that incredible command center.
Seriously, have you ever stopped to wonder how you do, well, anything? How you form a thought, or feel an emotion? How you take a step, or even just take a breath? What's going on behind the scenes? What's pulling all the strings?
Well, it all comes down to this one incredible thing, your nervous system. You can think of it as the hero of our story today. It's basically the body's own private, high-speed internet, a massive communication grid that connects and coordinates every single thing that you do.
Okay, so a network that big has to be organized, right? How does it all work without getting its wires crossed? Well, it actually starts with a surprisingly simple master blueprint, one that splits the entire system into two main divisions.
So check this out. At the very top, the whole system branches into two major parts. First, you've got the command center, the big boss, known as the central nervous system, or CNS for short. And then you have all the wiring, all the cables that connect that command center to the rest of the body. And that's called the peripheral nervous system, or PNS.
Probably the easiest way to get your head around this is to think of the central nervous system as the main headquarters. It's where all the big decisions are made. The peripheral nervous system, then, is the huge network of pathways and messengers spreading out from that HQ, carrying crucial messages to and from every last corner of your body.
All right, so let's zoom in on that headquarters first. It's time to go inside the central nervous system, the absolute, undisputed core of the entire operation.
So what's actually in this control center? What's it made of? Well, it's just two incredibly powerful, incredibly important parts. You've got the brain, and you've got the spinal cord. That's it. Together, they are the body's ultimate power duo.
And what's their job? Oh, nothing big. Just keeping you alive. Seriously, the CNS isn't just for thinking deep thoughts. It's for the business of living. It handles all those vital, automatic functions that we almost never have to think about.
I mean, just look at this list. We are talking about the absolute basics of life here. The steady rhythm of your heartbeat, the constant in and out of your breath, keeping your body temperature just right, not to mention every thought and feeling you've ever had. All of it is managed right from this central hub.
Okay, so let's zoom in one level deeper. It's time to meet the true mastermind of this whole operation. That amazing, kind of weird, wrinkled organ inside your head, the brain.
For being so important, it's also really well protected. It's locked away inside the hard bone of your skull, which is called the cranium. And if you could actually see it, it would look a lot like a giant pinkish-gray walnut. And this is the real control center of you.
So what's with all those wrinkles? Well, the brain's surface is totally covered in these folds and little depressions, and that's not just for looks. It's actually a brilliant way to cram more processing power into a small space. By folding in on itself like this, the brain massively increases its surface area, which allows for billions and billions more connections.
So yeah, the next time you're trying to picture what's going on in your head, just remember that simple comparison. It really is like a giant, unbelievably powerful walnut.
Okay, so that brings up a really big question, right? What is this incredible walnut actually made of? If we were to zoom in even further, what are its most fundamental, most basic building blocks?
Well, the answer is a tiny, super specialized cell called a neuron. These little guys are the basic structural and functional units for the entire nervous system. You can think of them as the messengers, the processors, the tiny sparks that form the foundation of everything the system does.
And this is what one of them looks like. This single, tiny little structure is the fundamental building block of every single thought, every feeling, and every action you will ever take. It's just staggering when you really stop and think about it.
So there you have it. We've gone on this incredible journey from this massive body-wide network down into its central command and all the way to a single microscopic cell. It all works together to form the true control center of you.
But that leaves us with one final, kind of mind-bending question. If these tiny little neurons are the building blocks, how in the world do they talk to each other to create, well, you? To create your thoughts, your memories, your entire personality? Now that is a whole other amazing story.